You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another episode of Unstoppable Actors. I am so excited to be delivering this episode to you because I love the topic, but also because earlier in the week, on Sunday, I was scheduled to have a meeting with another actor about a production that we're going to be putting on, and my laptop fell off the kitchen table and wouldn't turn on. And I was like, oh my good Lord. And my laptop has been away for repair for 3 days, I think it was. And I was like, oh my good Lord, I want to record Unstoppable Actors. I absolutely love doing it, and I normally do it on a Monday, and I couldn't do it this week, and I was getting withdrawal symptoms from recording these episodes for you. So I'm so excited and delighted to have my laptop back and to be able to talk to you about all things character choices, especially the ones that casting directors can't ignore. Before I get started on this, I want to say thank you so much for all the beautiful comments that have been coming in on Spotify for the different episodes. As you know, I love times a gazillion recording these episodes for you. And when I get comments, my face lights up and it just absolutely makes my day. So thank you. And I also want to say a big thank you to all the beautiful souls who are joining the Step Into Character Challenge. Oh my gosh, I am having so much fun watching these characters being developed in real time, being able to give feedback, seeing the growth, and the monologues that each of the actors have chosen from inside the challenge are some of my absolute favourite monologues. So I feel like I'm in such a privileged position. I get to be an acting coach and also get to be an audience member and watch these actors flourish as they develop. It is so exciting and I love it so much. And if you do want to join the Step Into Character Challenge, I'm going to share with you at the end of the episode how you can do that, because what I share in this episode today you'll be able to take further inside of the challenge. But let's get started. What are the character choices that casting directors can't ignore? I'm going to go through some points with this. We might as well get started with forgettable choices. Let's bring these into our awareness so you don't fall into the trap of them. 90% of self-tapes and auditions are forgettable. It's a little bit scary, that, isn't it? I don't want you in that 90%. I want you in that 10% of actors who are making standout choices and who are getting called through to the next round and getting cast, seeing your name on the cast list. That's what we want. So what leads to forgettable choices then? So I love collecting data as an acting coach, and the data tells me from 15 years of coaching actors that going straight in for the emotion is going to make you forgettable. And I'm going to break this down for you because you might be thinking, yeah, but characters feel emotions. That's really important. Of course it is. And emotional connection is one of the biggest issues that actors have and that they come to me and ask me about. They want to know, how can I connect to the emotion authentically? So to dive into this, I want to give you an example. In the Step Into Character Challenge, one of the female monologues is from a character called Kyra. What I see happen with this monologue, not just in the challenge, but any time I've given an actor this monologue in any of my method acting programs, is that the easiest route for them is to say the lines in the same way everyone else does. And the reason they do that is because the emotion seems obvious in these lines and they're trying to make the emotional connection. And so I'm going to give you the opening lines and the end lines of this monologue from Kyra. So the opening lines are, "It wasn't remiss, Tom, it was deliberate," which when you read it, it's almost like it's low-level anger, low-level frustration. And so these lines are always delivered in this way. It wasn't remiss, Tom. It was deliberate. 90% of actors who take this monologue on and play this role, Kyra, will deliver those opening lines in the exact same way I've just shared with you now. Because, as I said, there is a low-level anger or frustration to these, and the rhythm of that is quite easy to get sucked into, but it makes your performance forgettable. The end lines of the monologue are, you don't value happiness because if you did, why would you throw it away? And this is what happens. So 90% of actors will deliver these lines in this way. You don't value happiness because if you did, why would you throw it away? They're delivered in that way because there's a self-righteousness and there's also a poke in these lines. I'm poking something in someone to hurt them because I'm hurt. And so it's easy to fall into that rhythm because it seems obvious. But as I've already said, forgettable choices are not going to get you to stand out. So we want to avoid doing that. Then what happens is in the middle of the monologue, the actors tend to clutch at the emotion of the hypocrisy of the situation, but it becomes muddled. It becomes muddled emotion and the lines get thrown away. And what I mean by thrown away is there's no real intention behind them because we're losing the intention to trying to make the emotional connection, but the emotional connection is getting muddled. And so we're ending up playing generic. We're playing a generic emotion. We're playing a mood. And the scene falls flat. And it's not sustainable either as an actor to do that, but it's a habit that actors get sucked into. I myself have got sucked into it as well before I got my method acting techniques. This is a safe way of playing the monologue, and safe choices kill careers because the casting director is seeing the same thing over and over and over again. And what happens is all of the auditions blur into one. And so you don't stand out if you approach characters in this way. So how do we avoid it then? We have got to clean the performance up with this one question. And the one question is why? Why is the one word you should have in your actor's vocabulary. Not why in a judgmental way. Why from a place of curiosity? Because curiosity piques your imagination. Imagination allows you to connect authentically. Authentic connection leads to authentic emotion and a genuine character. I want to give you an example of how this why comes into play. Last night in class, we were working on a very, very, very moving scene from Manchester by the Sea. It is such an incredible, powerful script. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend reading it. You'll be blown away. There's some incredible scenes in there that you can have a little play and an experiment with. And one of the scenes that we're working on is the scene between Lee and Randy. And Randy has a line that says, "This is Dylan. You can't see him very well." Now, one of the actresses last night didn't understand that second part, you can't see him very well. So she was throwing it away, which is what I spoke about earlier. And so what was happening is she was attempting an emotion and a feeling, but it was getting lost because she didn't really understand the second part of the line. And it was being thrown away, meaning it didn't stand out. There was no intention behind it. So what we did is we broke those two lines down because after "this is Dylan," there's a full stop. And then it's "you can't see him very well." So I asked her, why the full stop? Why not a comma? Because a full stop is the end of a thought. And the next line is a new thought. Whereas if there was a comma, it would be the same thought. So I asked her, why a full stop and why not a comma? And she had a little think about it and made some good choices. And then I said, why do you say you can't see him very well? What does it even matter if you can't see him very well? She had a little think about it, and then she discovered that the reason she says you can't see him very well is because she's awkward. And this line is hiding the truth of the awkwardness of this interaction. So when we knew the feeling oh, this is an awkward moment. That's why I'm saying you can't see him very well. She was then able to connect to it with her own life experience. And we all know awkward on some level or another. We've all experienced that awkward feeling in different situations, and she was able to draw upon it. And then what happened is, because we'd cleaned the scene up and we'd asked why, the connection was very, very authentic. The emotion came through strong and genuine. And then some character choices started coming out that we'd not seen before. And all of a sudden, the scene was different. It had a different energy, a different feeling to it, more vitality. It was honest. And when the scene finished, my response was, oof. That's exactly how I responded to it, because it hit me deep in the feels. And I was like, wow, I'd not seen this before. And it was so exciting. And when I asked the actors to share what their experience had been, they said, yeah, well, I was really in it and new things were happening that I'd never even thought about. And this is what happens when we stop playing generic and we start asking the question, why? Now, we also want to add something real to the character as well. So the quickest way to do that is to choose something that they do that is unique to them. Is it the way that they breathe at the end of talking? Is it a vocal quality that they've got? Is there a little idiosyncrasy they've got that is so subtle, it's not obvious, it's not glaringly obvious, it's not pushed down your throat, but there's a subtle idiosyncrasy they've got that makes them them. So you have to choose something, and it doesn't need to be performative, it doesn't need to be big and in your face. It's something small and unique that is their identity. When you do this, you will start to have strong scenes and strong characters. We don't want to think about performing, because performance is pushing something onto someone. Usually the emotions, it's like, hey, look at this, can you see it, and it's big. Whereas a strong character and a strong scene, they invite you into the world. There's something authentic about a strong character, and there's an ownership about who they are that says, take me or leave me. So here's a mini exercise for you. I would like you to go through the punctuation in a scene and ask why it's there for every single piece of punctuation, because that is the start of strong character choices, because the punctuation is a window into their internal world and who they are and their mannerisms. And it's something that the majority of actors are overlooking. Now, the quickest way to put this work to use and these insights to use that I've shared with you is the Step Into Character Challenge. And the Step Into Character Challenge is your shortcut to fully embodying characters. There are 4 weekly challenges. You complete them at your own pace. You get direct feedback from me at every single stage of the process. And it is going to help you build skills that casting directors notice. It's 4 weeks, £5 for full access inside the Method Actors Circle. And it is going to help you make your next performance your best performance yet. It's a lot of fun. The challenges take around 60 to 90 minutes to complete per week, so it's not taking a big chunk out of your week, yet it's very, very powerful and impactful, and it will get you thinking differently about the characters and giving strong performances that stand out. So to join the Step Into Character Challenge, which is inside the Method Actors Circle, I have left the link underneath where you've hit play. If you're wanting to start 2026 strong, I highly recommend you joining, so go and click that link and I will see you inside there. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors Handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.